Hello everybody, we are the Geeks and Degenerates. I am Enzo, this is my forever co-host John, and today, as I said in the past, as we're picking up this lineup that we usually do, starting with The Thing, Predator, and Terminator, was it Terminator? Or whatever it was,
Yeah.
all the way back when. Now we're in the more modern phase, which is the Terminator Salvation, Predators, Alien, Prometheus era. So yeah, it's a bit exciting and a bit divisive for some people, but let's get into this lineup.
All right. Are we going all in one go?
No,
Or...
we're doing it one by one
okay.
for pity's sake.
Which one we starting with again?
Terminator, you're
Yeah, dude. My absolute. I would say maybe my favorite one from all three, but then I watched Predators again. I was just like, this one seems a little nicer, in my opinion.
yeah.
But yeah, we start out in 2018, the distant future of 2018.
Oh, what a distant future. How could it? As you can see, I got a haircut in spirit of Terminator Salvation, and in spirit of its main star, Christian Bale as John Connor.
Okay, look big. I'm just saying, the haircut looks great. I love it, but the fact that you were inspired by John Connor.
I'm kidding. Of course,
Terminator
this
Salvation.
I'm kidding. It's just a coincidence, you know?
Koinkadinka. But yeah. And, yeah, I do love this star-studded cast because we got Christian Bale, we got what's his name? He always escapes my head.
You forgot the cast? You fucking I'm kidding, no.
You fucking amateurs. You walk in front of camera.
Sam
This is where he did
Worthington?
it, didn't he?
Yeah, that's where we get the Bale rant.
Yeah. The guy from like Black Ops 1. The guy who plays like Mason.
Yeah. That I don't remember. Now I'm the fucking amateur.
Okay, hold on. I feel embarrassed.
Sam Worthington? Is that the guy you're talking
Sam
about?
Worthington, Jesus.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, in my opinion, what a great actor. He's a really good actor in my book.
Yeah.
It's just in a lot of shitty movies.
Yeah. Well, this is not one of them, though it is quite divisive, and I can honestly see why. Like, if you go into this expecting a full Terminator prequel, like, if you're going in expecting like this is the beginning of the end, this is where John Connor rallies his men and fights the machines, and this is when the machines are like, fuck you, we're sending one back. This is not it. This is literally, it feels like year 5 of this fight, and there's still like modern bullets, no lasers yet, but like, and John Connor's just starting, and you're like, all right.
they're still like figuring it out. But I love the aesthetic though. I love the field jackets.
Yeah.
I always wanted one of those, the one that like Sam Worthington was wearing.
Yeah.
It's like all of the shit I loved. It was in the desert. It was barren. You would like, I did see a 240Z that was kind of trashed at the side, and I just felt sad.
Yeah.
But anyway, but yeah, I loved every aesthetic of this movie, and people complain that it wasn't to the standards of like Terminator 2, where there's skulls on the floor, laser beams everywhere, the sky is dark no matter what time of day it is.
Yeah.
But I still loved it though.
Yeah, it literally feels like mankind is still figuring out how to fight back. Like, for fuck's sake, their command post is this mobile submarine, and they're just praying to any god, like, please don't let us be discovered. Yeah, I forget too that the late great Anton Yelchin is here as Kyle Reese. I'm like, all right, he's the young Kyle Reese, and I think that's what people were expecting too. They were expecting to see the already formed brotherhood between Kyle and John, and that doesn't happen here. Again, it just feels like this is the beginning of the beginning. It's not even the beginning of the end. There's no rally to take out the machines just yet. They do win, but like, it's kind of like, at what cost? You're like, we're barely winning still. Unlike the end.
It's more of like a crawl rather than, a march to the finish.
Yeah. Though, two complaints is that it's a shame that Terry Crews was killed off at the beginning. I was like, I kind of want to see Terry Crews interact with Christian Bale. Not gonna lie, that'd been sweet.
Oh my god, I fucking forgot he was with the squad that fucking blew up at the start.
Yeah. And two, Christian Bale doing his Batman impression, carrying it over from the Dark Knight. I forget this is his follow up for the Dark Knight, in terms of like big action movie genre, and he's still doing the "I'm John Connor. Where were the other drugs going?"
Swear to me, the machine.
But yeah, it is star-studded. Aside from the three men, you also have Bryce Dallas Howard as Kate. You also have Michael Ironside from Starship Trooper as the commander.
Really? Not Sam Fisher from from the Splinter Cell series? Okay.
No, I'm kidding.
You didn't play those? Okay.
I did. I was going out of my way to be like, that's the guy who voices Darkseid in Superman. So yeah. Who else is here? Common's here. That's the brother of Terry Crews.
Barnes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I do like how gritty this world is. Like you see when Marcus and Kyle Reese were escaping from the machines. Like again, there's no clear advantage to their side. They're just like, we just have to run. And the machine variations are pretty cool. Like there's no T-800 yet, but like whatever you get, you're like, that's pretty sick. Like the giant ass Metal Gear Terminator next to like the motorcycle Terminators. You're like,
I love the motorcycle Terminators things. Like if it like topples over, it like spins and then just like gets back up, and like it has like a self-balancing gyro thing. I was like, I like that thing. I really do. By the way, I love also the water Terminator things. They were just so much world building. Like, cause come on, I'm pretty sure you're all tired of just seeing the 1980s. Just going through and like trying to prevent a war.
Yeah.
You kind of just want to see how the war starts, you know?
Yeah.
Like, this is how it is, and I love it. I really do fucking love this movie.
Yeah.
One thing okay, go on.
No, I was about to say, getting into the meat of this one is that John is looking for Kyle because he knows he's part of the future of this fight, and Kyle is just going around trying to help out the resistance while Marcus is trying to find out who he is. I think that's why people are complaining, because there's just one through line of like, we need Kyle.
Yeah. Like if that was the entire plot of the story, sure, I guess.
Yeah.
But like John is still kind of like keeping it a secret that like, hey, we need to find this guy because he's my dad.
Yeah.
People are gonna be like, oh, you're our leader? He's crazy.
Yeah.
No, so he kind of has to keep it on the down low. So he's just trying to find this kid as much as he can. And Sam Worthington, like, happens to be an ex-convict that got executed and then for some reason got skinned, like they just taxidermied him onto a Terminator.
Yeah, and that's the big plot twist of this movie. As if his other previous events don't tell you, like, that guy ain't human. He just smacked the water from how high? And he's still alive?
Yeah. Right? and like, the man survived an explosion because he came from that, like, facility.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing that blew up and killed Terry Crews.
Yeah, also, like, that part where he's with that one soldier, I forgot. The actor's name escapes me, but it's like Moon Blood something. The
Moon Bloodgood?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's
it
like,
was an odd name. It was an odd name. She was hot name.
Yeah, it's such a...
Oh, wait, is she like... Isn't she like half Native American?
Yeah, I think she is Native American. Though I love the part where she's like, careful of the mines, they're magnetic, and Marcus is like, what? And you're like, oh.
And like Sam Worthington and his like iconic scream, I was just like,
yeah.
It always makes me laugh, not gonna lie. By the way, I found this a little bit of a bullshit plot. Like Kyle Reese, God, what was her name? Like, Star, was it? Like the little girl?
Yeah.
They find a Jeep, and the Jeep was like, had a radio, and then it like, when they were trying to hotwire it, it turned on, and then they were like, what is that? And it was like, something me and my brother used to listen to. And then I was like, bull fucking shit, you didn't listen to music throughout this. Like, nobody hummed. Nobody played a guitar around you. I get it that you're the only people left in the LA branch, but like, nobody was just like,
I guess if they did, they would get like seized by the Terminator. Like, ah, fuck. Why did I say?
Good point. Like radio frequency.
Yeah, exactly. Going back to this movie, I remember people saying that the CGI was bad, but like looking at it to today's standards, you're like, when you see Marcus and his Terminator skeleton, you're like, that's not fucking bad actually. That really isn't, dog.
Yeah.
I guess we've just been waterboarded with bad CGI effects lately. That looking back, you're like, oh, that's not bad. It really
There's
isn't.
still a lot of like practical effects though. When they're just like using it on the Terminator, like they look great.
Yeah, and like going forward to like the big set piece when they de-age Arnold Schwarzenegger and they bring him back, I'm still like, that really doesn't look bad. I really don't get the complaints with the effects, and it's not like the uncanny de-aging now when you're like, yeah, that doesn't look good. It's convincing.
It's convincing. It kind of helped that like they were in like when we do see Arnie, there's like some smoke all around him. It's a little bit dark. You see like red lights, so it's not that noticeable. And then once they encountered John Connor, then John Connor just shot him with a grenade launcher, and then it blew up his face. So we don't really need to look at the uncanny valley no more.
Yeah, and that's where we also get the big plot twist that Marcus is made for infiltration, and he unknowingly just infiltrated the resistance, and they're like, bye bye commandos, and you're like, oh, okay.
Like again, Sam Worthington playing a sleeper agent again
in the same year that he did it for James Cameron's big movie. Same year, because Avatar came out December that year.
Oh my god, he played three roles that are like supposed to be like sleeper agent-esque. In Black Ops he played Mason. Anyway.
Also, I like how you in the start you're like, Mason Black from Call of Duty. I'm like, that has been so long since I played that game. I can't remember.
Dude, it's so fucking good though.
I know. I just forget that. I just forget he was in it. Speaking of people I forgot were in this movie, Helena Bonham Carter's in this. I was like, Skynet.
I forgot about that. Like, she is poster child Skynet. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, and like as you mentioned, the fight at the end when they're fighting the T-800 does feel like a crawl. You're like, and like you're like gripping your seat up. Like, I hope John Connor makes it, even though I know the end results that we're going to. You're still like, I hope he wins, hope he lives.
Yeah.
And then when he gets stabbed, you're like, is this an alternate future? What the fuck is this movie doing to me?
Right. Like, we're gonna get mad that there's gonna be an alternate, like, future.
Yeah.
But they still stuck to their guns and we're like, oh no, the T-800 that we had Marcus in has an actual heart. You could use that one and put it into John Connor's.
Yeah.
So they did that. Sad ending, yes, Marcus dies after him being developed to be...
Uh-oh. Did we reach
I found a flaw. Why could... I feel like it would have helped if Marcus, like, just stayed. Like, they really couldn't... It's like, hey, Marcus, can you be the one to go back into the past?
Yeah, I guess they were like, we can't do that. That fights with the lore. And not like...
That's true.
I mean, it's not like the sequel to this one really fucks up the lore and you're like, the fuck?
Right. I forgot. Right.
Yeah.
He is the reason why John Connor, not John Carter, had the idea of like, oh, we could use the Terminators.
Yeah. But yeah, this is just our video of being like, for all the supposed flaws people saw in this movie, like, I guess growing up with it, like, even I was like, yeah, it sucks. But like recently I'm like, you know what, it's not as bad as people say it is. That's definitely not as bad as the sequel we're going to do in the future, weeks from now. But it's definitely obviously not as good as T1 and T2. But I would say, I'll give it this. I'll admit it's better than T3.
Okay.
And it's very unique. You're right.
I find, it's better than T3. It's better than T Genesis, in my opinion. I haven't watched the one with like, what's her name?
Linda Hamilton coming back.
Linda Hamilton. I was gonna say Linda Carter, but like.
That's Wonder Woman. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, not as bad as I remember it being obviously not as great, but it's a decent prequel in my book. That's all I'll say. And I guess we run out of things to say. So what would you rate Terminator Salvation?
Okay, look, I know there are flaws within this movie, and I really wanna give it like, because it is one of my first like steps into, pop culture, like me getting into Terminator.
Yeah.
But I do have to be fair, and I have to give this like an 8
Hmm.
out of 10. I still like it. My bias is still there, and like I don't know. I just feel like it still deserves a spot. At like, hey, this is a little bit better than the other movies that you kind of glossed over. You gave this one a lot of shit, but I'll say it's better than majority of the stuff that Terminator has kind of released.
Yeah, since then. I'll be fair too. Like, one of the biggest complaints is obviously the lack of like color. You're like, I get that we're too gritty for like the 80s, but like I would like some color in this movie. It just looks kind of like a generic war movie set in like, I don't know, someplace in the Middle East. You're like, that's kind of unfortunate.
I do agree. I do agree. I do like the setting of like skulls on the floor, lasers, and nighttime.
Yeah.
We do get that in Genesis.
Yeah.
And that's the only part that I like.
And like the performances are pretty good. Like I like Sam Worthington. I kind of like Bale, but just because when he's doing these roles, he's kind of like a meme. Like the rest of the cast is pretty good too. The designs, the effects, I like very much so, and they've aged pretty well. Like again, it's weird looking back at old technology and being like, wow, this is so much better than what we have now. But that's just the case now.
Yeah.
But yeah, good prequel and worth watching in my opinion. So that's about it. To the audience watching, what's your favorite prequel? Whether that be this one, I don't know, Prometheus, Alien Covenant, the Star Wars prequels, whatever they are, comment down below. The Rise, Dawn, and War for the Planet of the Apes are like gold for like prequel standards in my book. So
agreed.
Yeah. If you like our videos, please leave them a like, subscribe, and ding the bell icon to get notified of when we upload next. We're also on Spotify and TikTok to see your best and funniest moments, Spotify to hear us on the go. Individually, I'm Zoda's Voices on TikTok and Enswolf on Letterboxd. Where can I find you?
Oh, you can find me at JohnJoM_ on Instagram. It is my article.
And until the next one, we'll see you then. Bye, everybody.
Ciao.